What's up, team? Time for that staff video update. I'm down here at Todd Farms. Jeff Todd attends our Findlay campus, and he's a pig farmer. Here's what you're looking at. You're looking at 1,000 pigs about 6 weeks away from going to market. So, Megan, Youngblood, if you're watching this, close your eyes, okay? Earmuffs. I wanted to know, how do you literally feed the pig? And, well, he's automated the whole system. So, there's little sensors in here that feel how high the food is, and there's a soybean corn mix in there that drops right down there. And look at all these guys. Do you think they're cute? Put your hand in the air if you think they're cute, all right? Now, for those of you that are wondering what this smells like, it just smells like summertime employment for me when I was 17 years old. So, oh, hi. What's up? You wouldn't believe how tough their skin is. It's impressive. So here are some of the important updates now that I'm away from the pig farm that I didn't want you to miss. First, we're going to be giving away maple bacon donuts this weekend to celebrate our 24th anniversary. Yeah, that's right. This weekend, 24 years ago, Cedar Creek got started. So that's going to be a fun little addition. We're also going to be giving away little squeaky pigs on the way out, just for fun, so that it can be a prop, a resource, a reminder to feed the pig. And so if you're wondering what the series is all about, is I'm going to be talking about feeding the financial pig of your life. And there really are 4 financial behaviors that in some ways are similar to pigs. There's earning, spending, saving, and giving. And so I'll be talking a little bit about each of those and how we can start to win with our money, especially in light of the way that Jesus taught us to win. It involves all 4 of those, and I know some of you were like, I thought this wasn't going to be a giving series. It's not necessarily, but the statistics show that giving financially, and I'll say wherever you feel like is making a positive impact in your community, this is not like a tithe. I'll give a voice to the tithe, obviously, but it's like giving makes you more attractive as a person overall. And giving statistically makes you feel better about you. In some ways, the most fun that we can have with our finances is when we give. And so anyway, I'll be talking about all 4 of those: earning, spending, saving, and giving. And the purpose of the pig, or the purpose of money, is really to give us purposeful work, to help us to enjoy, not just bring home the bacon, but enjoy the bacon. But also, put it this way, Megan Youngblood, I keep wanting to call her Megan Gory, earmuffs for this. It's like when you have pigs, you don't keep them for pets, right? You feed them so that you can eat them, and you don't want to eat the whole thing. The best way to enjoy a meal is with friends. So you feed it, you get it, earning, to feed it, saving, so that you can kill it, spending, so that you can share it, giving. So that's kind of how the way all 4 of those behaviors kind of work. All right, so that's what's coming up this weekend. Next on the agenda that I don't want you to miss is really important. The NFL Network, the NFL app, because you're a part of Verizon and a corporate plan and you basically have unlimited minutes, offers NFL games for free. Now, to be clear, it's not all of those games, but I just learned this news the other day. If you download the NFL app, you can watch some of the weekend football games that are available to you there for free, for those of you that don't get NFL Ticket or the Dish or whatever. So, hey, I thought that was a fun little tidbit. Some of you are downloading the app right now. All right, next. It's time for you to see if you know the mission statement. It's been a couple weeks, hasn't it? That's right. It's back. So take a second, hit pause, write down the mission statement. Why does Cedar Creek exist? All right, let's get out those pens and pencils and circle or whatever. The words that maybe were just a little bit off. Cedar Creek exists to introduce people to Jesus and a life-changing adventure with him. How'd you do? Thumbs up? Good job. And why do we exist? So that what? Go ahead and write that down. Yep, this was the trickier one. So that everyone in our community would know that they matter and live like it. You see, when everyone knows, so if you got that sentence, high five, I'm giving you a headbutt. You know, a good, I can't because my 2 hands are holding the phone. That's kind of weird. Anyway, If everybody knew that they matter and lived like it, it would change how people show up at work, show up in their marriages. It would change how they respond to addiction. It would literally transform our community. Why? Because I believe insignificance, insecurity, and isolation are the 3 emotional cancers that are killing us. And isolation, insignificance, and insecurity manifests itself in addiction, in dysfunction, in emotional strife, in blaming others, in bad spending habits, in foolish choices, all sorts of ways. So I think the work that you're doing really matters. Let's stay focused on helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and ultimately begin to experience making a difference. Why? Because when they go on that spiritual journey, they no longer are insignificant, insecure, or isolated. You cannot, it's not that you don't always feel this way, but you cannot be in a life-giving relationship with God and forever stuck in those 3 things. And so those 3 things are indicators that, man, God wants to do some work in my life in some area where I need to know and trust him more, where I need to find freedom, where I need to be reminded of or get a fresh perspective on my purpose, or ultimately I need to go make a difference. So that's kind of fun. As we've been processing that, 2 of the spiritual gifts that we've been looking at, 2 that I want to look at this week are knowledge and leadership. Knowledge. Anybody have that gift? Remember, if you don't remember your spiritual gifts, if you don't remember them, then basically what you're showing everybody else around you is they're not worth that much. It doesn't really matter. And so if you really want to help people know that they matter, never forget your spiritual gifts. The gift of knowledge is when somebody can see clearly what is otherwise confusing or complicated. They bring clarity, this is the way that I define it, they bring clarity to the complex. And so people with the gift of knowledge can start to sit down with reports or studies or books or history, and usually there's an area where they're really sharp, but they can bring clarity to that. And so I would say these are people that you can learn from, that you can, a lot of the books that you're reading from right now, like Dallas Willard, I'm guessing that was one of his gifts, but I'm not for sure. It's like people who understand complex things and bring a little bit of clarity to that. That's pretty profound. It doesn't mean that they can communicate those things well. That doesn't mean that they should get in front of a platform or on a platform and teach. They may not have that gift, but they can be a great resource when things look cloudy or complicated. A leader, on the other hand, how many of you have that gift? I think we have a few hands that go up in the air there. Leadership is the spiritual ability to move people from here to there. I'm going to say it a little differently. It's moving people from here to there spiritually and organizationally. Shepherding is a spiritual gift of leadership to a certain degree. It's discipleship. It's moving people forward on their spiritual journey. People with the gift of leadership can do that spiritually, but oftentimes they're more organizationally minded, or they're moving people towards a particular objective. And so if you have people with the gift of leadership, and you need to put them in a spot. This is what I say. You'll never be fully spiritually satisfied until you're leading a group of people. In fact, the task matters less than the people that you're moving from here to there. Building a team, casting a vision, solving some of the problem of how do we help bring an excellent first impression experience? How do we recruit and develop a great team for X service? These are the kinds of the visionary things that leaders, that you need to cast for people with the gift of leadership, but you also need to help them see the spiritual journey and the spiritual significance as well. Leaders who leave teams is not because they weren't given freedom to do whatever they want. They weren't casted, the vision was not casted clear enough around the strategic problem we are solving collectively or within that specific ministry as a church. And so vision casting to leaders becomes really, really important. So take a couple minutes, talk about where you've seen those gifts at play. And I'm excited about the start of this weekend's service called Feed the Pig. See ya.